They said you can't turn a hoe into a housewife.
Well, we've proven them wrong. But you know, we're still keeping it nasty.
This is the Hoes to Housewives podcast. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the Hoes and Housewives podcast. I'm Katie.
I'm Keenan, and this is episode 2. That's right. And today we are going to talk about, is the hoe phase necessary or not?
Or no.
But before we get into that, Katie and I haven't actually really spent a whole lot of time together this week. She had to work a real job. Loser. Had to work a real job, so we have barely seen each other. And then my husband has been training me at the gym. So I think the last time we were at the gym together, like, you had just started your period.
And I had to go because I had to shit.
She was literally about to shit her pants. And she had to go. So, like, we didn't get to spend any time together.
No.
So Katie got her period, what, Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah. And then we spend so much time together. I get mine the day after. So we are literally synced up. I always make a joke that once she gets pregnant, she's going to throw me into menopause because I'm already in the throes of perimenopause. And as you can see, like, I don't have as much hair this week as I did last week. That's because I was either going to shave my head or take my extensions out. And so I did opt to take the extensions out. And because I was itching like a meth addict. I was just like, like all over the place. So anyways, so tell me about your week. Little recap.
Well, Friday was fun with your husband's birthday party.
Oh, that's right. We did throw JJ a surprise birthday party. Not that I forgot. It feels like that was like 2 weeks ago.
It literally feels so far away.
Literally a week ago.
Yeah. I got everybody wasted.
Oh,
not everybody, but I really tried my hardest.
Really hard.
I got Amber to take like 2 shots.
Oh, and that's a really big deal for Amber. Amber doesn't drink.
Yeah.
We don't really drink either, but it was a special occasion.
Yeah.
JJ's birthday, we pulled off a surprise party at our new house. So that was pretty fun.
It was really good. It was it was nice because it was like so intimate.
Yeah, which really is cool. Our vibe. We're not into big, huge gatherings, and that was pretty big for us.
There were quite a few people.
That was like everybody, all of our friends that we loved, like, and minus a few because some people couldn't make it. It was a pretty big gathering for us. Like we don't have big gatherings, so I thought it was.
But you got this big ass house, so it was perfect.
Yeah, it was nice to kind of have everybody all together in one spot, which is something that we don't do outside the gym.
Yeah,
we haven't really had a reason to have anybody like all get together for any particular reason. But one of the reasons why we wanted this house and why we moved from our 1,700 square foot house that we've been in for the past 9 years. We moved out of there because we wanted to be able to host. Like, we wanted to be able to provide a place where we could host parties. We're going to be putting in a pool in the next few months. We're in Texas, so summer lasts till like November, which is great if you have a pool. So we're going to put in a pool, have gatherings, things like that. So it was really cool. Like, I really enjoyed. I was exhausted after everybody left, but it was really, really cool.
Bro, and we went over to Kara's and still partied.
I know.
I couldn't believe it.
I was like, I can't believe they're still going to go party. That just shows how old we are. We were like, we are going to bed, guys.
Joey was like,
all
if you were sober, you would not be here. And I was like, bitch, well, I'm drunk.
Yeah.
No.
And she gets drunk like once every 6 months. So she was like, I'm really living it up today.
I was. It was a good time.
Yeah.
But I was hurting all day on Saturday. I don't even think we left the house on Saturday.
What happened Saturday? You had to leave the house because you had to go to Del Frisco's, right? Didn't you have brunch?
Oh my God.
Or something with the family?
So hungover.
Yeah,
yes. Yep.
Yeah. I was not hungover because my choice of alcohol is weed. So I did take some shots, some birthday shots and, did a few, but and I handle alcohol pretty well. Yeah. It's wine and beer that really makes me feel pretty crappy. Like, don't give me a mimosa. Like, don't give me champagne. Like, it makes me feel really crappy.
I don't know how we're friends.
But I love a mimosa. But I actually prefer champagne and passion fruit juice over like orange juice, which gives me indigestion, cocktail juice or cranberry juice, whatever that's called. Not big drinkers anymore. I did a lot of that in my hoe phase.
Yeah.
All the way until I got married. So I don't drink a whole lot.
So then Saturday visited with my aunt and my grandma. Sunday we had a big gathering at my mom's. We had Brandon and Amber came over.
Oh, nice.
Megan and Cole came over. Michelle Tim brought the boys. Jenny had a friend over, not a boy, a girl.
Yeah.
But apparently she has a boyfriend.
Really?
Mm-hmm. She's 29. He's 24.
Get it, girl.
Okay. He cute.
I have a story for you. Not yet, but just know that I dated way below my age once, and I was a mother.
Love.
We'll get into that. His name was Liam.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
So
he was a little Irish boy.
we did Mother's Day at my mom's. She proceeded to call me fat.
Your mother?
She goes, well, you're putting on all this weight. And I said, Mom, this is my post birth control body. Like, this is my body. Like, I don't know what's happening. It is what it is.
Sure.
I think she was trying to get me to like tell her that I was pregnant, you know, like she was like trying to like, you know,
like, are you putting on this weight because you're pregnant? Like, no, quit reminding me, bitch. I just got my period. Like,
I was like,
you didn't until Wednesday, but still.
Well, so I was supposed to get my period.
Yeah.
And I was late. So Sunday was the first day that I could take a test.
Her body was syncing up with mine.
Yeah.
So last month I was a week early, which got me a little bit closer to you.
Yeah.
And this month she was a few days late to get her closer to me, like literally, like before your miscarriage, a year and a half ago. We had synced up like literally within like 24 hours. And now we're back to that.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, Mom, I had already told them, like, cause it was a little bit hard.
Yeah.
Like had a little breakdown before we went. I was like, I'm not going. That's it. I'm not going. You know, but my sweet, wonderful husband was just real attentive all day.
Yeah.
And then, but so we go and they're like,
are they just like hoping you're like holding on to a secret?
Like hoping that I'm going to like tell them. I was like, I already took a test. It was negative. And I did. I took a test on Sunday because that was the first day that I could take one. And it was negative. And then, so I'm like, you know, my mom's like, well, why are you gaining all this weight? And I'm like, bitch, I'm just fat. I'm just fat. Like I'm just fat. It is what it is.
She's not fat, but okay.
And I'm like, there's literally tampons in my bag if you want to go look in it because I'm supposed to get my period today.
Did she think that like you were keeping it from her? Like,
yeah, she just thinks that I'm always pregnant and that I'm just not telling her.
Okay,
or she's like so hopeful that, you know.
And I get being hopeful. Trust me, I get it because like you're the only one out of her daughters that's married, and that I assume is like really anyone closest to having a baby because like Brandy,
she can't have kids.
Oh no, I didn't know that. Okay.
So.
And then Jenny's younger.
Not by much, only 2 years.
Not by much, but
she just got a boyfriend.
Yeah, she just got a boyfriend.
So I just found out on Saturday.
Nice.
Apparently Susan knew before me. I was like, bitch, that's rude.
Are you close to Jenny?
No.
Yeah, okay.
No.
You know all my secrets before my sister knows my secrets.
Yeah, same. I don't.
And I love my sister.
Yeah.
We're just not super close anymore.
Yeah.
We're 2 years apart.
Yeah.
Just like you and Jenny, but like we're just not.
We've never been close. We just exist. And I'll beat somebody's ass for her.
We were close. Like I feel like a long time ago, and then like we drifted apart. We got really close when they were split up.
Yeah.
And then when they got back together, we still talk. Like I was on the phone with her when you got here, but I was checking on her because she had just had her old implants taken out and new implants put in and had a lift, so she's like really sore. But anyway, so we're not very close either. So like I don't see her. She lives 2 hours away.
Yeah.
So I'm closer to you, which is fine.
So yeah, so that was Sunday. Monday I woke up, traded out of my wonderful Bogota for a domestic trip. I didn't look at the check-in times, bitch. I was up at 3 a.m. on Tuesday morning.
Why?
To work 8 hours.
No bueno.
Not my cup of tea. But still hopeful that I was pregnant because I didn't get my period yet.
Yeah.
And then on Wednesday, I woke up in Orlando, headed to the airport. Joey calls me because he's about to go to bed because he's working nights this week. And he's like, have you gotten your period yet? And I said, no, babe. But like, I literally took a test on Sunday and Monday. It was negative. Like, don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, those are just those like Amazon tests. They're not right.
Oh, okay.
I was like, okay. Like, I was like,
I get you want to be hopeful, but like, let's wait.
Right.
Like a little bit.
So then
literally your sperm just started swimming. Literally.
And so then I get on the plane and I notice there's like 2 little teeny tiny little just pink drops. And I was like, and I texted him and I said, you know, I told you not to get your hopes up. I'm really sorry. Right. Yeah. And he's like all upset.
What are you apologizing for?
For hurting his feelings. I don't want to get it, you know, and I know, and we had this conversation too, but I just feel so bad. Like I hate it. Like I hate that I have to be sad and I have to include him in the sadness. You know, it's not a nice thing. It's like, no. I'm sorry. Like we're experiencing this again. But then the entire 2-hour flight, nothing.
Yeah.
So I got home and fully convinced myself that it was implantation bleeding.
Which is not a stretch.
But I had literally like full on convinced myself. I was like, I don't even need to wear a pad. I don't even need to wear a tampon. I'm pregnant. Yeah. It's implantation bleeding. I'm going to take a test tomorrow and it's going to be positive. I was full on fucking delusional.
It's not delusional. It's hopeful.
It was fucking delusional. And I'm like, And then Joey's like, you know, and I'm not telling Joey because I'm like, well, I'm not going to get his hopes up again. And then, you know, and then that night at Bible study, I was telling Caitlin, and she's like, no, like, that's not. And I was like, ah. I was full on. I mean, like, I was full on, like, add maternity clothes to my cart.
That is a little delulu.
But
also at the same time, like, I feel like that's just part of it when you're trying for a baby. Like, I'm one of those people that I say the bad thing so it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm that person.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll try to convince myself something isn't happening so it will happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, that's how I've always been. And so I don't feel like that's abnormal to have those thoughts and those feelings, because like y'all are actively trying.
Yeah.
So every month is a new month.
Yeah. Well, so then I'm like on my phone and I'm in our notes for the podcast, and I'm like, I want to talk about fertility and optimal birthing age, because if I have a daughter, like, you know, obviously like my faith is going to be like, oh, don't have sex before you're married.
Sure.
But I was so delusional. I was like, yo, have sex, get pregnant, because I don't want you to be 30 years old and can't have a baby.
So something that I feel like isn't talked about enough is how these high paying jobs for men, let's call them blue collar jobs, right? So blue collar oil and gas jobs, the schedules that they dictate, basically, like the shift work. Like her husband, for example, one week he's on nights, the next he's on days. He's traveling, he's home, he has an irregular sleep schedule, he doesn't eat well, he's stressed. All these things lower your testosterone, your sperm count, and it's not just women who have fertility issues. And I feel like, the woman takes on so much of the responsibility when she can't get pregnant.
Let me tell you something I read on fucking Instagram yesterday.
Oh God, because you know Instagram's the Bible. What did you read?
It was this bitch.
Okay.
She's a health and wellness coach. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It had to be rage bait. Because I went from like one where the girl was like saying something, you know, it's like a prayer, and I'm crying. The next one, because you know the algorithm will get you.
It'll get you.
So it's all fertility, right? And so she says, do you ever wonder why your fat, drunk cousin can get pregnant and you can't?
Oh. And why is that? What was her reasoning?
She says it's because you are too in your head, and you are stressing yourself out, and you are causing yourself to be infertile. I said, bitch, fuck you.
Did you tell her fuck you in the comments? Because
no,
I sure would have.
Because it was an older reel. Like, I'm not going to, you know, but I'm reading the comments, and there's people in there, and they're like, oh, yes, please tell my endometriosis that, you know,
right.
It's
please
my
tell stress. My PCOS that it's my stress.
Yeah. And it's like,
bitch. I'm not saying that stress and worrying can't prohibit or like affect some of those things, but like, it's not just the root fucking cause, bitch. Like, there's a million other reasons. Like, you got tested.
Yeah.
You know you're fertile.
Yeah.
And you've been on birth control since you were 15, right?
Yeah.
14, 15. And so you were on it for basically 15 years.
Yeah.
It's a really long time.
Yeah.
It's a really long time to be on birth control.
Yeah.
My mom never would have put me on birth control. She would have just told me I was a slut and a whore, and basically done nothing. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe grounded me. I don't know.
I don't think she ever put Jenny on birth control, though. I think I was just a disappointment of the family.
Yeah, well, so was I. Yeah. My mom can't really say anything because she was married like 4 or 5 times. Like, my dad's like either her 4th or 5th husband from 17, and she also walked across the stage pregnant.
I didn't know that.
My mama was a hoe. Yeah, with my brother. I mean,
is the hoe face hereditary?
It's got to be. My sister didn't catch that gene. Okay, my mom definitely hoe. My dad was married. My mom is his 3rd wife.
Okay, it's got to be hereditary or something.
It's got to be. I was doomed from the start, man. Like, I was just going to hoe around. It was just inevitable. Kristen, though, got locked down, like, real early. Yeah. Like, she didn't go through a hoe phase.
Anyways, okay, so thanks for spilling the tea.
Yeah.
Let's hear about your week. Catch me up. What happened?
Oh, my week, not that exciting. And we had the party, which we've already talked about. Mm-hmm. It was Mother's Day weekend. The highlight of my week was Aiden coming home on Mother's Day. So my oldest son goes to University of Idaho, which is all the way up in bumfucked almost Canada. Like, literally, it's a 2-flight and a whole day worth of travel to get there. So he finished up his first year of college. He drove back to his dad's house in Boise, spent a couple of nights, and then flew home. And then I actually just got back from taking him to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
So he was home all week. He got to spend time with his brothers, which was my biggest thing. Like, obviously, I want to spend time with him, but I also don't want him to lose that bond with his brothers. It's really important to me. I always try to remind them that these are your people. Like, these are your built-in little best friends. And like, you got to keep that relationship going. So he spent a lot of time with them, especially Gage. So I'm just trying to make sure like I keep that relationship alive, right? Because they only get to see him like once every 6 months. Mm-hmm. So he came home on Sunday. We had Mother's Day here with just me, the boys, JJ, his mom and dad. So it's just us. Yeah. My mom is on a cruise.
Of course she is.
For like the 800th time this year. So she was supposed to be here, but she booked a cruise instead. So, but we're not going to get into that today because I tried to already let that go. But anyways,
I digress.
So our week was pretty chill. It was chill but hectic, if that makes any sense, because like our house was chaotic. Everybody was home. We had a full house. As you can see, like Remy is exhausted from all the company because we had a full house Friday. My in-laws came Saturday. Then Aiden came home Sunday. In-laws still here. And then all boys all week. And then like it was just chaotic in our house. Like,
and Aiden took her on a 2-mile walk.
Yeah, Aiden took them on walks. And so they're just exhausted. Like they're probably looking forward to a quiet house. Mm-hmm. Other than that, though, like we didn't do a whole lot. It was a pretty chill week. We had Gage all week because Aiden was here. Yep. So it was our last school drop-off of the year. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Which means like we don't have to get up until we're ready, which is so nice. We don't sleep late, but having that ability, like knowing you don't have to wake up to an alarm, like we don't have any like window covering. So like the sun's going to wake you up regardless. You're going to be up anyways. But it's nice to not have to go if you don't want to go. Yeah. So yeah, it was a pretty chill week. Dropped Aiden back off at the airport. Yeah, and he's headed back to Idaho. And then on Tuesday, he leaves for Germany. It's going to be a really good experience for them. I talked to Jenny, which is Alex's mom, and I was like, oh, hey, just checking in. I'm so excited for the kids to go. I was like, I'm a little nervous, but more excited than nervous. And she's excited for them too.
So if it were Aiden here and we said, is the hoe phase necessary or not? Aiden would say no.
Yeah, Aiden definitely is a monogamous, long-term guy.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really important to kind of understand his personality because of how he was raised. And so when you're a single mom, you live in a town where you have no family because, once again, I had another child with a man.
Right.
And then I had geographical restrictions and we couldn't leave the town or the county that we lived in. So I obviously dated. There was no way around it, right? And I always had Aiden, except when he would go out of town like 3 times a year.
Yeah.
60 days during the summer, every spring break, and every other Thanksgiving, Christmas. Like he was only gone 3 times a year.
Yeah.
But every now and then he would go to my mom's for the weekend or whatever, but that was rare. So like I always had him. So it was very hard to try to date without him actually meeting the people because I had no reliable babysitters. You have to understand, if I would have been like, oh, I found a babysitter, Brian would have had an issue with that. Oh, so a stranger's watching my kid? So Brian would say, and Aiden and I had this conversation earlier, Brian would say, well, we can provide him with a better life because we're married and we're stable. You're not married. So then I would date and he would be like, you're unstable because you're dating and none of these relationships are working out and you just have a revolving door of men. And that's not how it was.
I want to punch him in the face.
Literally. But karma always comes around.
All right.
So the hoe phase.
So your son would say it's not necessary.
Yeah, absolutely.
What would you say?
It's hard to answer that in hindsight, right?
Okay.
Because for me, I am older now.
Yeah.
And I understand the value of having a long-term relationship with the right person.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you find that person early on, say like some of the friends that I have from high school, they're with the same guy from like 8th grade or 10th grade or 12th grade, and they're married and, you know, their kids are going off to college now, just like my kids, but they've been together forever. I would say it depends on the situation. Don't settle.
Yeah.
And if the person's not right for you and you don't find that out until after y'all have dated for a few months, you've already slept together and things just aren't right.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so let's backtrack a little bit. What do you think that the hoe phase is? Is it sleeping with people? Is it partying too much? Is it standing on the bar table, busting through the front of your shoes at 15 years old? Is it like, what is it? Is it just chaos? Is it just a mess? Is it just sex? What do you think the hoe, like, what was it for you?
I think there's different levels of a hoe phase,
Yeah.
and I definitely went through every tier.
Okay.
Okay. So, I think like, and of course, the word hoe is literally just
Yeah.
the word that we're using.
Yeah.
But
No, there's no shame in hoe.
no, not even a little bit. But I would say there's definitely different tiers, right? And for me, I think depending on your age, the hoe phase can look different.
Okay.
So, like, whenever I was 14, 15, and I was, dating one guy and then I break up with him and start dating another guy, I wasn't sleeping with them yet. I was just making out a lot.
Okay.
Right. So, like, that's can be considered hoish, especially in high school, right? Be like, oh, she kisses everybody.
Oh
and I'm going to tell you, it's okay. Kiss everybody.
Kiss everybody.
Like, kiss all the boys or girls or both, whatever.
I used to kiss Caitlin all the time. She'd be like, get away from me.
Like, just whatever works, whatever you're into. But as I got older, obviously my mentality changed a little bit. I actually became sexual with, like a long-term boyfriend, and then that kind of spiraled.
Yeah.
But the hoe phase for me, it was more so I was trying to fill a void.
Okay.
And if I knew what I knew now, and I was self-aware.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not self-aware at 15.
Mm-mm.
If I was self-aware at 15 the way I am now, I would know that there's no amount of fucking random dudes that's going to make me love myself.
Right.
It's actually going to make me hate myself more.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it did for me. And then so I had this negative mentality about myself that I had devalued myself.
Yeah.
Well, and society makes you believe that if a man has a lot of women, his value increases because he's a hot commodity. If a woman has a lot of men or boys or whatever, then she's a whore.
Yeah.
And she devalues, right? Which is such a double standard, and it's such bullshit.
So stupid.
So dumb, because I don't know what one guy having a high body count and a girl having a high body count, to me, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
But obviously society makes you believe that it's something different. So if I knew what I knew now, if I knew then what I know now, I would definitely say I didn't need to do it because all the work that needed to be done was internal.
Okay.
I wasn't close with my parents. They didn't really pay any attention to me. So, like, I sought attention elsewhere. So
knowing what
for me, I think where I'm at now, I don't regret all the things that I did. I just wish I had better guidance. So I knew looking back that I did them because I wanted to, not because I needed attention and affection that I wasn't getting at home. The things that I feel like I needed as a kid that I didn't get, I try to make sure that they have an abundance of. Like, my kids still hug and kiss me in public.
Yeah.
Like, Gage can be gaming with his friends, and if I come in his room, it's I love you, Mom.
Love it.
And he comes and he hugs me. His friends are spending the night over. When I go in to say goodnight, he gets up and he hugs me and he kisses me goodnight. Like, he's 14. And he does it in front of his friends because he doesn't care. Because I have taught them affection is not anything to be ashamed of. It's wonderful. So I don't regret my hoe phase, but I do wish that I would have had more guidance when I was younger, a mom or someone that I could really talk to, so I could understand why I was doing the things that I did. So then I could understand that I was doing them for the wrong reasons. Yeah. And as long as you're doing them for the right reasons, that you want to do it, not because you feel obligated or like someone isn't going to like you if you don't do it. Yeah. And that was me. If I don't have sex with him, he's never going to talk to me again. And I really like this guy. Because of that, I had sex with everybody because I thought, well, that's the way that I get them to like me. Yeah. And and I would sometimes cry after because I didn't want to. Mm-hmm. So, but what do? You just move on. It just is what it is. It hurts my heart. Yeah, well, I'm old now, so I've come to terms with all of it and all the things that I did and didn't do and things I wish I would have done differently. But, you live and learn, right? But I don't want my kids to have to go through all of that. I don't want them to have to go through that uncertainty. Hey, if you want to sleep with everybody because you're confident and you think, and this is what you want to do, that's one thing. I don't regret it, but I would do things differently.
Yeah.
If I could.
Hindsight's always 2020.
Mm-hmm. Always. What about you?
I feel like from the first time I had sex, I was constantly in a hoe phase. But for me, it wasn't that I was seeking validation.
Yeah.
Or like that I was, I mean, there were definitely times where I was like, oh, if I don't sleep with him, like it's not going to go anywhere.
Sure.
But I was also like not my generation, we're basically the same generation, but not quite. But like when I first started having sex, it was like when I went to college, it was have sex, women can have sex like men.
Exactly. I was actually about to say that.
It
like,
was the feminist
It made
movement.
us feel like it was our choice.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't.
It really wasn't. No. But then like I think about, so for me, I'm not going to say that it was necessary, but it did. I would like to say that it wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
Because I would like to say that growing my faith with Jesus and understanding that, you know, I am worthy and that sex in marriage is a gift from God.
It's a beautiful thing.
Like sex with your husband is becoming one. Sex with it's the highest form of intimacy.
Literally.
So I would like to say that it wasn't, based on what I know now.
Yeah.
I would like to say that.
Of course.
But knowing the things that I know now doesn't change that was who I was in then. So for me, it was necessary. I mean, I met my husband in my hoe phase. Joey and I were both in our hoe phases. I had a whole ass boyfriend when I met Joey. So for me, it was necessary. It absolutely was necessary. And I think that there are going to be some people who it is necessary for them.
Sure.
Because I wouldn't
Not everybody meets their soulmate at 15 or 16 or even 17, or even 30.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's just inevitable.
It's just inevitable. And like, it's not that the hoe phase is bad, because it's not.
No.
When you talk about like doing it for the right reasons, like I was fully confident in myself, fully doing it because I wanted to.
I did reach that point at one point, probably after a boob job.
Hell yeah.
Then I was like, okay, yeah, bet. But before that,
look at these titties.
Yeah, before that, I was like, it was probably a confidence issue. I mean, like, I didn't peak in high school. I didn't peak in college.
Nah, girl.
But yeah, I feel like that too. I feel like everybody's reasons are different, and sometimes you don't even realize that's your phase, right?
Yeah.
But
it was literally just
dating. And let's take high school out of it. Let's go graduation to the time you get married.
So college or just
to say you're done with high school.
Done with high
school.
You're
18 years old. Okay. You're out of the house. Whatever you're doing, you're an adult. And you don't find your person until you're 34, like me. Well, you're going to accumulate people in between then.
Yeah.
Either that or you're going to be alone.
Yeah.
And I did not want to be alone. I liked alone time.
Right.
But I was also wanting exactly what I have right now, which is literally a slumber party every night with my best friend. Like, me and my husband are like so in sync.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be thinking about a blizzard at the same time and then just look at each other and I'll be like, are you thinking about something? He's like, I was like, well, I was thinking about it. He's like, no fucking way. Let's go get one. That's what I was thinking about. Like, he's my person.
You guys became one.
We literally, he knows me so well. Like, it's insane how well he knows me. He knows my facial expressions. He knows when I don't feel well, when I'm in a really good mood. He knows when I'm trying to get some dick. Like, he knows everything about me, and he knows like all my cues, and I don't have to hide who I am.
Yeah. So do you think though, now it's nothing to be ashamed of having multiple partners when you're trying to,
if that's how your journey
if you're trying to find your person, you're gonna have multiple partners until you find your person. That's just a part of life. That's part of dating.
If relationships naturally progress and you don't have an issue with sex before marriage, it's going to happen.
Yeah. And
relationships are going to keep ending until you find your right person. So you're going to rack up people regardless, because not everybody, it's rare to find your person early in life.
Yeah.
And now some people settle, and that's neither here nor there.
Brian and Jackie.
Yeah, but like, that's neither here nor there. Like, I swear to you, I think he was just trying to get a wife so he could get custody of Aiden so he wouldn't have to pay child support.
Look what he got.
But look what he got now.
Karma.
You want to lay down?
But yeah, I think that there's no shame in calling anything a hoe phase. If
No.
you don't have sex before marriage, like kudos to you, more power to you.
Yeah.
Like that's amazing.
I wasn't raised in the church.
Yeah.
So like religion wasn't something that was like in my brain. Now
Yeah.
I was baptized and saved when I was 17.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But there's a story behind why.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that then on another time.
Yeah.
Because I want to know all about that.
But I don't want to make you cry. So
well, I don't care. You're gonna make me cry anyway.
What is that? So I mean, a hoe phase can be just kissing a lot of boys, dating a lot of boys. It can be sleeping with them. It can be sleeping with a lot of girls. Whatever. But I feel like everybody has to make that decision for themselves, and everybody can view their hoe phase as something different. Oh, I kissed 5 guys.
Yeah.
Like before I got married. Cool. Well, I slept with many guys before I got married.
So, I think that it was necessary for me, and for some people it will just be necessary. And you think maybe it wasn't necessary?
It's always so hard to make that kind of determination in hindsight, right?
Yeah.
Because I can say prior, like high school to having Aiden, it was some sort of issue. It was a confidence issue. It was something. I wasn't doing it for the right reasons.
But even for reasons.
After that, it was my choice. I was trying to find the right person. So I would date and either they would work out or they wouldn't. And so I don't regret anything that I've done, but I will say I wish that my hoe phase in high school wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
Because I was doing it for the wrong reasons. But later on in life, I was starting to figure out what I liked.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even have my first orgasm until God knows when, because I didn't even know that was a real thing.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean women have orgasms?
Okay, so that's fair, because I think about like Katie, and before, I mean, she's only had like 3 boyfriends, and she's been married now since 20. I don't know how long they've been married. Either way, she used to tell me that she lived vicariously through me.
Right.
Like that. I mean, I remember her boyfriend in like our senior year, first year of college, second year of college, whatever. He didn't even want her hanging out with me because he was afraid
your hoe would rub off on her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like psychopath. And so she literally used to tell me that she lived vicariously through my stories, that she like wanted to know all of the things
what it was like,
because she never did that.
Right.
You know, and so it's like, is it necessary to have that experience? Like, I don't know if necessary is the right word, but it's an experience.
It's an experience, and it's definitely a personal experience and a personal choice. Like,
yeah.
If you had it, great. If you didn't need it, I want to know what that's like too.
Yeah.
And so like, we'll have to get make yourself comfortable, Remy. We'll have to find, I know some people that I know never had a hoe phase.
Yeah. We'll have to get them on the pod.
And I'd like to get them on here because I'd like to understand like what that's like to like have only been with one person. Imagine not having to start over with someone new all the time.
Yeah.
Because you found your person, right? And then they know your body inside and out. So there is something to be said about that.
Yeah. Because
for me, my husband knows everything I like. And if he's doing something I don't like, I can say, "Hey, yo, back up! I don't like that. Like, don't do that. Let's do it a different way."
It's not going to hurt his feelings.
It's not going to hurt his feelings. It's not going to ruin everything because we have such an open line of communication, and that's better to me than some sort of mysterious dick I've never, experienced before.
Yeah.
Because and there's something to be said about being with someone you feel comfortable, confident, and they know you inside and out, and you don't have to put on this facade for them.
And then, also I think about like when I met Joey, and even since we have been married, like, throughout this like 10 years, he is constantly making me feel more confident in the bedroom because they know you inside and out, and it's not just about sex, it's about intimacy. Let's do our housewife tip of the week.
Okay.
And then we'll wrap up and we will get a move on.
Okay.
All right. Housewife tip of the week. Do you have one, or would you like me to share?
So I want to give you a tip. We're going to call them the hoe to housewife tip, whatever.
Yep.
So the one thing that I can tell you is if you're with a man, whether it's your boyfriend, your husband, and he doesn't allow you to have toys, you need to get a new man.
You need to get a new man.
Because any man that is intimidated by your vibrator has got more issues than you need to ever deal with. Okay.
Men, real men
want you to get yours no matter how you get it.
no
Okay.
matter how you get it.
And let's just all be fair. Like, not every woman can just get off by riding a dick, especially not when you get older. Okay. I'm perimenopausal right now. Things don't work the way that they always did before. But like, just getting off by sex alone, it doesn't quite work that way anymore. So, sometimes you just gotta like, okay,
but Old Faithful gonna be there.
But Old Faithful gonna be there, charged and ready to go. And I'm not saying that toys are for everybody, obviously not. But if you're listening to this podcast, you probably like toys. I'm just saying. So go together. Go find what works for you guys. And you know what? Me and JJ were talking the other night, and I was like, I have a fantasy, a little bit of a fantasy.
Oh gosh, she's getting real here.
This stuff doesn't bother me, but I was like, I want to go to a really good strip club.
Okay.
Like, really good, like beautiful women, like my type of women.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, beautiful women. I was like, I want to do some research. I want to go to Vegas. I want to get me like really good strip club.
Okay.
And I was like, I want to pick a girl for you, and I want you to pick a girl for me. And I want to go to the VIP room, and I want to get lap dances, and I want to do it together.
Okay.
Because like, nothing is going to turn me on more in my fantasy. I can't tell you reality, but in my fantasy, we can call we need to call Lacey in for this. Okay, get Lacey on this podcast. I'm not going to spill her secrets, but I know she will. Give her a couple shots. She will give you some tips. But I was like, this is something that I want to do.
Interesting.
And he was like, well, fuck yes. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
See,
I was like,
that's gonna be a no for me.
And that's okay.
I'm like, oh my
god. But like, I just want the dancing. Like, I don't want like, I don't want any of that. But like, I just like, women are beautiful.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I don't want to go to a male strip club.
Oh, I don't know. Have you been to a male strip club?
No, and I don't want to.
Oh my god. It's so fun. I'm
sure it can be fun. Now, I have been to gay clubs where the males are dancing, and so much fun with my gay friends back in the day. But no, I've never been to a male one. But like,
it's just fun.
I love my husband's body, but the male body and appendage is not the sexiest thing on the face of the earth.
No.
I feel like women are just more graceful, like beautiful. They have beautiful bodies. Beautiful. Like, women are beautiful and just crafted better than men. And so like, I'm like, you got to keep the spice up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying we're not be swingers, we're not gonna have an affair, but like, let's just go look at some beautiful women together. If you have any recommendations for amazing sex toys, we're gonna have you drop them in the comments or DM us. If you don't want your business out there, you can totally DM us privately.
If your mama follows us, you can be anonymous. It's fine.
Yeah, we don't care. But like, put your tips out there. Like, what are your favorite toys? But my Hoda Housewife tip is go to sex shops together.
Bring them out.
Go together, explore together, get some lubes, try some, whatever it is that you're into. Don't be afraid to share your kinks with your husband. So, toys are your friends.
Toys are your friends.
And they should be your husband's friend too. Your toy should be your husband's best friend, companion, not your enemy. Just remember that. Yeah. So, because Katie's going out of town, we're probably going to hop right on and record another episode, or just a bonus episode, kind of cover some things in a little bit more depth while we wait on our husbands, because I don't know what the fuck they're doing. We're at the gym together. I wouldn't know because my phone is actually recording this, but
fair. That's what
I'm guessing Aiden probably made it to Dallas by now.
We need to get the Osmo set up.
Yeah, we'll be more professional eventually, but for now, this is what you get.
So, like, rate, share, tag a friend, DM us. If your mama watches, keep it anonymous.
Send us your host stories, sex toy recommendations, any lingerie that you recommend, like any tips that you want us to share with our audience. We'd be happy to. Love it all. All right.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. And we will see you next week for episode 3.
Keep it real, keep it nasty.
All right, thanks.